History shows me that we have great reason to feel hopeful and to be optimistic about the future, despite the news cycle, right? Despite our concerns about pollution and war and the national debt and what will happen with Social Security and many other issues, we can feel hopeful, and history shows us this. So hear me out. The 20th century, what stands out? Aside from World War II, rock and roll, the civil rights movement, sexual revolution, computers, the fall of the Soviet Union. If you notice, these events occur in the latter half of the 20th century. Let's go back in time to the beginning, to 1900. People were dying of polio and influenza. There was child labor. It was a pretty bleak existence. Let's go back 100 years to 1925. Yeah, there was the Jazz Age. Women were smoking cigarettes and cutting their hair short, but in 1929, there would be the Great Depression, and we wouldn't get out of it until till World War II, and that was a pretty rough one, right? Let's go back to the 19th century, to the 1800s. What stands out? Probably events that occurred after the Civil War, after the Civil War ended in 1865. So you have the end of slavery, the locomotive, people settling the frontier. Again, the latter half of the 19th century. Let's go back another 100 years to the 18th century, to the 1700s. What stands out? I don't know, maybe the Declaration of Independence in 1776, the birth of modern democracy as we know it. My point is, it seems as though the identities of a century occur in their latter half. I have a feeling when scholars look back at the 21st century, they're going to be thinking about events that occurred after 2050. And so this shows me that it takes about 20 or 40 years for a century to get rocking and rolling. And we're just living in the beginning of this one. And there is a lot of promise if you really look between the lines. But history assures me that things are going to get better. I mean, maybe we're living in the worst part of the 21st century, but what does that mean? That means things are only going to get better. How could they not? I mean, this is what history shows me. Maybe I got my head screwed on backwards here, but I really do feel good about the future. I know that I'm willing to work to make the world a better place, to get to that future, especially for my children and grandchildren. That's how I feel. But what do you guys feel? How do you feel about that? What do you think? I want to know. Please give me a message. Make a comment. Let me know. All right. Nurse Dad out.